for a company that's actively going through a digital transformation process, what you would say is like moving to the cloud, should should you incorporate AI functionality after you've gone through that process, or is it better to kind of do the whole thing at once and include it early on in the process of moving your non-cloud enterprise to a cloud system?
I think a little bit, it depends. So if you're talking about the sort of internal capacity building and sort of, accumulating your data assets in your team and your tools, the thing is, I just don't think, as I sort of said in the talk, I just don't think you should big bang it. I don't think you should sort of expect to build the perfect edifice of data lake and then, 1,000 flowers bloom of AI projects internally. I think you've got to sort of start with one project and get it working end to end and show some value and get some points on the board, and then you can kind of gather steam and momentum as you go. So I don't think it's necessary to have done the entire digital transformation of your company. And if you're a big company, that could take a decade anyway. So I think it's more like you want to get some points on the board as you go. And so I do think, yes, it's easier to build AI projects on top of the cloud. I'm pretty upfront about that. And so it may be that if you're in process, and you have moved like one set of data to the cloud and one set of systems, but other things are lagging behind, then now's a good time to hire your first couple data scientists and build a project that's inspired by and within the scope of what has moved. And by the way, chances are whatever you prioritize to move first to the cloud is probably also a high business priority. And so doing something good about it is a way to make a difference to the company, which is always good. On the flip, so that's the build side. On the buy side, again, there may be some vendors who require you to be on the cloud to work with you very well. But I would say, again, this is another sort of baby steps way to not have to postpone the value of AI for a whole decade. You can actually just, get going and start seeing some results and start gaining some confidence so that as you move more and more stuff to the cloud, you've already got these kind of wins and successes working with vendors to say, hey, look, yes, it is worth it. We can justify building this team, investing these resources in these systems. And then last but not least, if I sort of, double click on AI for the purpose of managing your cloud infrastructure, this kind of AI ops category, or the autonomous data center that I'm so gung-ho about after my long stint at VMware. I absolutely think that as you migrate to the cloud is a great time to think in real time about how AI can help you manage your new cloud infrastructure. Because one thing everybody says about migrating to the cloud is it drastically gives you more velocity and agility, but it actually is often more expensive, not less, than your on-prem data center. And it ends up having way more complexity. Like what you give up in order to get the agility is you bite off a lot more complexity and a lot more management headache. And so if you don't wait for that to be the new burning fire, right? Like if your old burning fire is the on-prem data center and you're putting the fire out by going to the cloud, your next fire is going to be, oh my God, the complexity, it's microservices hell, we don't even know how many VMs we have. And so as you move to the cloud is a good time to think about how can AI powered, as I'm sort of, all my old systems management tools go out the window, right? Like the stack's just rewritten. Like I can't manage my infrastructure the way I used to. And so as you're rewriting your playbook on managing your infrastructure because it's cloud now, I think it's a really good time to contemplate AI powered systems for that.